the whole the MERS and SARS pandemics. Bitch, I didn't wear no mask back when I was like in elementary school. What makes people think I should be wearing a mask when I'm out in public right now? Y'all didn't have the same energy back when, when I was like, growing up. I didn't have to wear a mask back when the MERS and the SARS pandemics hit. They hit pretty hard. Oh, yes, they did. But was that warranting and justification enough to social distance, wash your hands, and to, go around and, like, try to force and oppose your will on, other people? No, it wasn't justification enough to try to force people against their will to wear a mask in public or social distance. That's bullshit. And the millennials are much more of a likely chance of being a much more healthier generation than any other generation before. The heart attacks that happens for those who are boomers, Gen Xers, and silent generation, the lost generation, those guys did not have the same protocols. All they were was just dying left, right, and center. The millennials are much more, stronger generation than the previous generation prior. And all the other generations before. Like, it is none of your damn business if I want to have, like, customer service to, make my life a lot more easier. And you gotta think, millennials were sliding down metal fucking slides. You dumbasses. A lot of people have been, growing up playing on jungle gyms, playing on like monkey bars. We played on dangerous playgrounds as kids. What makes you think a punk motherfucker named Covid-19 is strong enough to take my generation out? The cocky diseases end up almost costing older lives. I get it that COVID-19 is widespread, but my generation grew up fucking tough as fucking nails. Sure, we got our asses beaten as kids, and we gotten measly sicknesses, but that's because it was just to try to toughen up our fucking immune system. My generation grew up getting sick a lot, playing in dirt, playing in a lot of things that could have given us the same results that COVID is giving us. I mean, we got like a lot of kids that were millennials that grew up, growing up playing on like dangerous hot metal shit. My generation grew up playing in the fucking rain, and you don't see us wearing fucking COVID masks back then, because my generation did not grow up wearing COVID masks.
This place is too congested.
The MERS outbreak, that was a fucking pandemic. The SARS outbreak, that was a pandemic. And those were the two first ever COVID like pandemics, one after another. COVID-19 is not special. COVID-19 is not special compared to MERS and SARS. My generation grew up playing on like dangerous shit, playing with dangerous toys that were geared towards kids of my generation. So I don't want to hear, oh, 6 feet, wear a mask, wash your hands like a fucking maniac. Oh, take this seriously. Like, no. No. My generation grew up playing on scalding hot shit. Like blistering hot ass metal or iron or steel slides that were hot as shit during the summer. And that was every summer when I was a kid. So yeah, the millennials generation is gonna outlive this damn coronavirus bullshit. And people who are trying to force you against your will to fucking believe it to be true. Like, no. My generation cannot contract or spread the fucking disease. It is not fucking possible for my generation to do so. My generation grew up getting booster shots, tetanus shots, and a bunch of other immune system boosting shots. And we had to take fucking medicine, some fucking cough medicine, some fucking sore throat medicine, and we all had to fucking, you know, like, take fucking diarrhea medicine. So yeah, my generation is gonna outlive COVID-19. My generation is gonna outlive that shit. We outlived SARS when the fucking SARS vaccine was introduced, and my generation outlived the MERS pandemic when the MERS vaccine came out. And the COVID vaccine is not special. And yes, COVID-19 is not going to kill my generation. Sure, older generation and maybe babies, because babies don't got like fully developed strong immune system like my generation grew up getting. My generation grew up getting a much stronger immune system. We played on dangerous shit. We even gotten injured by skateboarding. We even got injured by doing all kinds of dumb shit kids do. My generation grew up, you know, oh, well, why don't we, as a society, try to force the stronger, younger, but still aging into our middle-aged years generation and make everybody who's born anywhere between 1979 and 2000, try to make them, or maybe 2009 or 2010, to try to force them against their will to take the vaccine or to get vaccinated for something that is not special compared to SARS and MERS. That's how all lies get spread. We all know how that happens. We all know how that works. One disease. Well, MERS and SARS were diseases. They were diseases that we had to deal with, that my generation had to deal with growing up. And guess motherfucking what? My generation, well, yeah, my generation grew up playing on monkey bars, jungle gyms, and some of us fell while we were climbing trees. We were toughened up. Sure, some of us may be sensitive snowflakes to some shit that's changing, but that doesn't justify calling every motherfucking millennial snowflakes. We grew up as the toughest generation in history. We had our asses beaten. We had our asses kicked. We got bullied a lot in schools. While simultaneously, oh, poor little American minds. Wah, wah, wah. Put on a mask. Stay 6 feet. Wash your hands. Like, bruh. The chicken pox spread like a fucking pandemic all throughout the 80s, all throughout the 90s, and all throughout the 2000s. And we didn't get vaccinated. We had hospital visits at our fucking houses. Some of us were too poor to go out to the fucking doctor, so we had doctor visits come to our homes. We all know how that ends up. I mean, we already know how that is. I mean, everything is as it is. Why can't people just stop believing in this COVID lie? A year of this shit, and then bam, a bunch of COVID-19 tests coming back, fixed. Half of those said so-called falsified, verified COVID-19 positive tests. Like we have, my generation grew up having stronger immune systems. So my generation is more tougher than the older generation, because the older generation didn't grow up going through what my generation went through. Look at me. I've even hugged people. I've even shaken hands with people during this. I didn't even stay 6 feet. I mean, I myself classify myself, when it comes to sicknesses and diseases, as a tough son of a bitch. Like, if I could just go and fuck a girl without wearing a fucking condom, and she ends up fucking pregnant, like, I myself know for a fact that if I fuck a girl and she ends up pregnant, bam! And if I don't got no fucking diseases or any fucking thing like that, that shows my generation that we're more tougher more medically resilient. Because the older generation, they were, you know, coming down with, you know, a bunch of, you know, illnesses and sicknesses as older generations. Because why? Your fucking immune system was weakened because of your fucking age. And we all know how that ends up. We all know how that ends up being bad. Everybody knows how fucked up the fucking world really is. Like, we all know how that is. I mean, my generation grew up getting our asses whipped if we did something that we weren't supposed to. And to the Gen Xers, just because some of us got bad grades does not equate to fucking trying to fucking blow up a fucking country, which is a fucking bad thing. It's just fucking bad grades from shitty teachers. And yes, I'm calling out all you teachers trying to justify provoking our parents to beat our asses over your shitty teaching skills. Giving us F's for no fucking reason to provoke our parents to fucking attack us with belt switches, fucking sticks, and fucking belts, and fucking hands, because of your shitty teaching skills. All you Gen X generation teachers have shitty teaching skills. Always sleeping in fucking class and not fucking having the proper teaching skills. And then my generation grew up getting our asses physically assaulted by our parents because you don't know how to fucking properly teach kids. Some of us made it out. Some of us got fucking banned from going back to school because of shitty teaching skills that were not properly developed by 30 or 40 or 50-year-old teachers that have shitty teaching skills. And how are you in charge of fucking kids like millennials? Yeah, I'm calling your asses out. Yes. I am calling your Gen Xer asses out for having shitty teaching skills. Shitty teaching skills. You are there to help kids learn shit, not flunk them on fucking purpose to provoke my generation's parents to physically assault our asses, committing aggravated assault on us for getting shit or getting shit grades. It is not our fault that we had F's, all straight F's, maybe D's, C's, and maybe B's, but in some countries, other alphabetical letters of a fucking, you know, a bunch of fucking you know, grade systems. I mean, I got like my ass beaten, even for you know, I mean, my generation grew up getting our asses whipped for no fucking reason. I mean, I'm just sick and tired of the Gen X generation teachers getting by without getting repercussions 2 decades later. I mean, I'm just sick and tired of everything going and falling back on my generation. I mean, I'm sick and tired of it, dude. This Covid-19 shit is a lie. I strongly believe that the Gen X generation of teachers should have gotten fired for provoking my generation's parents to physically attack us with weapons of shitty parenting. That's why my generation grew up hating our parents. Getting bad grades is something my generation could not help getting. It is the shitty teaching skills of unqualified teachers that are in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, or even 60s, possibly 70s, that don't have the proper teaching skills or have properly developed teaching skills that ensured my generation's success. It ain't my generation's fault that the Gen X generation and the Boomer generation of teachers have shitty teaching skills.
No one in this city can match me.
I mean, I'm tired of it. This COVID bullshit is a fucking lie. I didn't have to wear a mask during the SARS pandemic or the MERS pandemic. This COVID pandemic and the variant pandemic is no fucking exception. Alright? It's no fucking exception. And it never was. My generation is much more stronger. Much more stronger of a generation that can withstand just expelling diseases. Diarrhea was a disease back then, but we have like a lot of diseases. The MERS, the measles, the SARS, the chickenpox, all of that was a fucking pandemic. Strengthening my generation's immune system to handle the Covid-19 shit.
Why is she around here? Go back home and watch cartoons. It's good to be the best.
Hey, so boss, how's the gang these days?
I mean, I already got like a lot of flack for not staying 6 feet or wearing my mask. I wear a mask when I damn well want to, and I want to social distance when I want to. And I wash my hands because I will be about to go about eating food and not have fucking germs getting into my system, because that's something that I don't have the time for. I've gotten diarrhea in the past, and that was a disease. I got GERD, which is a borderline life-threatening disease, and yes, my immune system is stronger too. During the pandemic, the older generation, the newer generation, all of it. I mean, I'm tired of it, dude. Everyone knows COVID-19 is a fucking lie. Those people that were said to have died from the COVID-19 probably went home to their families. Positive or negative, they still went back home to their families. And some people fucking have asthma.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
I mean, no one has been put in body bags because of the MERS and SARS. Why ain't they in body bags, huh? Why ain't they in body bags? If no MERS or SARS paperwork confirms that anybody was put in body bags because of the MERS and SARS, then why are they being put in body bags during COVID-19, huh?
Can't these people stay out of my way?
And during the MERS pandemic, and yet everybody knows, oh, well, we should social distance because why? A pandemic is hitting. But why isn't there a Louise disease pandemic where everybody doesn't die, but everybody loves me? But oh no, there can be no vaccine for that because that's not a thing. I mean, I see a lot of people still to this day that survived and outlived MERS and SARS. And they're healthy as fuck, dude. I've lived through that. I wasn't put in a body bag because of MERS and SARS. Oh, like 20 years ago, because I got a much stronger immune system. I can outlive the Covid-19. I've outlived SARS and MERS. I mean, I'm just the kind of person who just rather, you know, go by facts and logic and not by the confirmation bias that the news wants to portray. Everybody knows how dangerous it is to get a disease like, where the fuck is the STD vaccine, huh? And where is the fucking STD vaccine?
Did I remember to lock the store? There's a lot of people out today.
I mean, people are dying from the STD shit and the AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases. Why isn't there a vaccine for that, huh? Why? Oh, it's too convenient and people might start fucking a lot, thusly overpopulating the planet. And we already lost one of the greatest rappers in the world to AIDS, a variant of the STDs, because he was fucking a lot. That comes with the territory of becoming the famous fucking rapper. Women want to bang you. You want to bang a lot of women. And yet this whole, oh, well, why don't we just make sure that the STD vaccine is hereditary, where it's in the genetic code or genetic genes of people, so that way future generations don't even need condoms. And yes, we need to start making sure that the whole any sexually transmitted disease in the entire world is embedded in the genes of all generations. We need to make the condoms obsolete, where no one needs condoms anymore in the future. And aside from all of that, parents need to stop. Parents during when I was growing up should have never put their hands or any weapons upon us. And we need to start teaching parents how to properly raise their kids. People need to start taking parenting tips from the Greek gods above us all. Let your kids learn lessons without interfering. And don't put your hands on your kids.
Only fools stand up to me.
When I was growing up, we had gotten our asses physically assaulted by our parents growing up. And is it no small surprise that 40.80% of my generation don't even talk to our parents anymore? Because of all the unfair abuse that's happened. We shouldn't buy into this whole, discipline your kids, discipline your kids. First of all, the cycle of whoopings as newer generations come along, it shouldn't be a thing anymore. The era of spanking your kids should be done permanently. You know what Zeus does with his kids? He doesn't beat his kids. He sure as in shit did not beat Athena's ass. Because why? Zeus is a better father than 100% of the human men. And yes, men need to be more like Zeus on knowing how to properly knowing how to handle raising kids. We need to start teaching, have like proper parenting skills be taught to, parents, and learn from Zeus on how to parent your kids. And back in the old days,
Do I need to make some examples?
and I mean the old days, during the days when the Greek gods were worshipped, there was no need for STDs and shit or like anything like that. And yet everybody knows, as soon as the 19th century and the 20th century rolls around, we need condoms. Or as soon as the 18th century comes around, we need condoms to prevent STDs and shit. No. STDs definitely exist. Such as I mean, we all know how that ends up. Like, I don't even want to don't even get me started on how like, oh, well, we all know that Asclepius had proper medical skills because why? He's the Greek god of medicine. He knew how to heal people properly. The doctors are just they just charge out the ass for it. Asclepius took no money and did not wager money to save people from, you know, dying of diseases. I mean, it's all according to how
Some
the
days I feel
people
like a
back
linebacker.
then lived. And if somebody back in the ancient Greek times had an STD, guess who was there to zap away that STD? Asclepius. And then Zeus took out one of his own grandkids, Asclepius, because he was going to, because of the fear of Asclepius teaching mortals about how to raise the dead. I mean, universal healthcare should be mandatory and extreme universal healthcare. Like, I mean, intense. Like, action movie cutscene intense levels of universal healthcare. That is to be taken care of. And also, we need to properly teach teach parents in our country that spanking your kids is going to lead to them one day despising your guts. We need to start teaching our country's parents to properly parent. And it doesn't matter if Zeus didn't or did parenting his own kids. He knew how to. And guess what? Zeus did not whoop his kids' asses. But there was only one other time where Ares got whooped by Zeus. And that story is long gone. And for the schools, we need to have proper teachers that are properly trained to properly teach kids. Instead of flunking kids left, right, and center, thusly provoking kids to getting spanked by their parents. Kids don't have the fucking mental capacity to, learn shit, because teachers are improperly teaching the kids. Getting a bad grade is something kids cannot control. We need to start throwing a bunch of, like a fuckload of money to public schools to I mean, I don't feel sorry for the relationship between a parent and child. When the parent spanks a kid, that kid grows up never wanting to talk to their parents ever again. Cause for me, I have 3 kids. They may not be human kids, but they are animal kids that are biologically related to me. I got one that I myself parent very well. I did what Zeus did. Have a kid and parent from afar and everything being okay. Turning out okay. And for those who don't agree, yeah, I got my daughter right here in my room with me. I also got a granddaughter too, because I fucked around with one of Bastet's children, and my 3 kids that are actual animals are a result of that. And my own grandkid is the result of Anubis that wound up impregnating the cut out womb of my daughter, my first kid. I did what Zeus did. Sure, my sons might not got along, but that's because brothers fight a lot. But that doesn't mean they hate each other. And sure, my daughter had to discipline her daughter. Yeah, I slept with the offspring of Bastet, the Egyptian goddess of felines. And she now keeps my baby mama away from me for the fear of it happening again. To have 3 more kids by her. And I've already apologized to Bastet. She's still taking her divine wrath out upon me. Granted, that being that I'm the son of Zeus and all. And there's one thing that you should not do, is mess around with the offspring of an Egyptian deity without their permission. So yes, even on my TikTok, J-Dog Master Flex,
Where is that damn saint?
like if you want to like go to like J-Dog Master Flex, oh, I am related to Zeus. And no, I'm not like some sort of narcissistic person, despite what people think. I may have like a healthy self-esteem, but that's not the case. At least with my daughter, I don't go around whooping her for getting bad grades because why? She's a cat.
Fuck you.
And it does say who Zeus is the father of. Zeus, it states quite clearly, Zeus is the father of both men and other gods. He is the father of the gods and mortals. So yeah, that makes me a demigod because my mom is some mortal woman. My father is Zeus. If you go back and look about how many mortal women Zeus banged, it'll say it. And it'll back up what I'm saying. And Hera killed my mother because why? My father Zeus banged her twice, but didn't do it against the other two women. It's really...
I hate crowds.
I mean, it is written that my father Zeus has, well, you can even see it on Zeus's Facebook thing.
The fucking boss some kind of stupid armor?
I'm in better shape than she is.
I mean, I got ichor running through my veins, so that keeps me from getting like diseases and shit.
Look out!